Welcome back to another episode of Jason's Detail Tips. I'm your host, Jason, and today we're going to be talking about 5 things that I wish I knew when I started detailing. That's all up next, but first, roll the intro. First thing that I wish I would have known when I just started detailing is how to properly clean windows, how to get a streak-free window the first time. And I've used a ton of different methods and tricks. I've used crinkled up newspaper. I've made my own window cleaning chemical with vinegar and water. I've used all kinds of different towels. What really changed the way I clean windows is going to the 2-towel method, using 1 wet towel and 1 dry towel. So my wet towel is the towel that I'm going to use to scrub the window with. I'm going to get all the dirt off and all the grime with this towel, and the second towel is going to be my polishing towel, and that's what's going to leave it streak free. All right, now I'm going to show you the process of cleaning windows on this Tesla here. The first step I'm going to do is I'm going to get my wet towel. I'm using Meguiar's window cleaner right here. Proper dilution is key. We actually have a mixing chamber that's always mixed to the right dilution. Look on the back of the label so you can get that right. My first towel here is I'm going to clean this window, and I want to show you the way not to do it first. So a lot of people get impatient and just clean it real quick, and you're going to see spots up here in these corners that I didn't hit with this initial towel. So if I come back with the drying towel and I start getting the whole window, I'm just spreading all the dirt and the grime here, whatever oils are on the window, I'm going to spread that throughout the window, and I'm going to end up with streaks. So what you really want to do is you want to clean this entire window with this first towel, almost like you're scrubbing it. You want to scrub all that oil, all that dirt, all that grime right off the window into this towel. Flip it over if you need to. You got plenty of sides on this towel. Now you want to get everything off, and then you come back with your dry towel here, a dry, clean towel. You got 8 different sides on this one, so you keep on flipping it. Get it dry, flip it over, get this clean side, and you want to almost polish this window so all that window cleaner is gone. You don't want to leave any window cleaner left behind, otherwise that's when you're going to get streaks. Flip it over one more time if you need to, and do a final buff on it. And there you have it, streak-free window. All right, number 2 is the importance of using a clay bar when you're gonna detail a car. Now you don't need to use a clay bar every time you go wash your car, but when you wash your car, you have embedded contaminants in the clear coat that don't come up with washing. You'll have sap, tar, things that can get into your paint's clear coat and kind of embed themselves in it. And it doesn't come up with regular washing. A lot of times you can feel it with your hand. You can actually use a little baggie too. It kind of amplifies your feeling in your fingers, and you can feel the roughness or the texture on the hood. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a clay bar, and you got 2 types of methods with this. You got an actual clay bar, and this was really weird to me at first when somebody first showed me. It's an actual clay bar, like Play-Doh or clay. And then you have another option here. You actually have a clay mitt, and this is a little faster than the normal clay bar. And this is going to remove all these above surface bonded contaminants. And if you rub your hand across this hood, you can kind of feel the roughness to it. And that's what we want to remove. It's going to make this paint smooth. Basically what you're doing is you're exfoliating the surface. A lot of times if you've seen those like little strips that you put on your nose and you can pull them off and get all the blackheads, that's exactly what we're going to do to the paint. That's what a clay bar does to paint. It makes the surface smooth. When I first started detailing, I didn't know about a clay bar, and a lot of times I would just wash the car and then I just apply a wax over it. If you don't clay the surface before you polish it or you put a wax over it, you're not going to get good surface adhesion with any type of protection or wax that you're putting on there. Come on and let me show you how this clay bar works. So take a little piece of the clay. You can take about 1/3 of the bar, and you're going to mold it into like a little pancake. And you're just going to gently rub this over the surface. We're actually going to use some soap and water here. You want some lubrication when you're doing this. This is not going to damage the paint in any way. It's not going to scratch it. It may cause some light marring, but if you're going to be doing polishing, we're not really worried about that. So mold it into a little pancake. Make sure the surface is lubricated here. And then you're just going to rub this back and forth light. You can almost hear it. and you'll see the clay bar. That's all the stuff that was embedded into the paint that's not coming off of this wash. Or you can use one of these. I like these because they're a little faster. This mitt is just kind of like a rubber. This is a microfiber towel with a rubber. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it works really well. And you can kind of wash the car with this. Again, I'm not pressing really hard, just light, multiple passes. Is gonna remove it. You can feel it the whole time. You can feel it where this is grabby here. And once I go over it a few times, it gets a lot lighter. It's a lot smoother now. And then you can feel it with your hand afterwards. That feels great, brand new, fresh. I can still feel some roughness and little contaminants on there. So, all right, so if you're washing a vehicle and you feel any roughness to the paint surface, to get the best results, you'll want to use this clay bar before you do any type of polishing or waxing. Number 3 was my biggest time saver of all. I mobile detailed for about 4 years and I didn't have this tool on my van. When I got into a shop and I had an air compressor, it just blew me away and I couldn't believe that I was detailing without an air compressor. There's so many uses to it. There's so many different nozzles and attachments that you can use on the air compressor. We use it on the outside of the vehicles to get all the water out of the door jambs, all the cracks and the crevices and the mirrors. It's great for that. We use it when we do the interior details, in between the seats when we're vacuuming. It makes it really easy to blow everything out and get everything where you can vacuum it. When we're wiping down the dash and the doors and everything, it cleans all those little tiny cracks and crevices. My number 1 tool, time saver, is the air compressor. If you haven't used one in your detailing, get one. You're gonna thank me for it. 4, I wish I would have known this when I started, but knowing your value, knowing how much you should be charging. And a lot of times when you're beginning and you're just developing your skill set in detailing, you might not charge as much. If you're doing families and friends' cars, you might be working for free sometimes, and that's okay. You're developing your skills, but once you start developing your detailing skills and you get better, know what you're worth. You want to make sure that you're charging enough, and I can't tell you exactly what to charge because you got to know your market and you got to know what you need to make, but you should be able to provide for your family, pay your bills. And if you want to keep your business going, you got to make sure you're charging enough. I remember when I first started mobile detailing, there was a breakthrough moment when I was charging $25 for an in and out car wash. And it would take me 20 minutes to drive to the location, 20 minutes to set up all my equipment, and then I'm washing the car and you're looking at 45 minutes to complete the job, and then I got to take down everything and drive to the next job. And I'm getting $25 for that and I'm spending 2 hours. I was lucky if I was making $7 an hour. I was just starting out learning the business, so sometimes you have to do that and that's okay. But once you get to where you have the skills and you know what you're doing and you know your value, you got to charge enough so you can stay in business. All right, number 5 on my list is that there's no magic chemical that's going to make you a great detailer. Chemicals are important, tools are important, you want all those right things, but having a certain kind of compound is not going to make the car turn out better. What is your process and how you're doing things, your technique. So that's what you really want to learn. Proper technique, how to use the polishers, how to use the equipment, and that's more important than any chemical that you're going to buy. You can see here we have a bunch of chemicals that we use for different situations, and it's definitely important to use the right chemical in a certain situation, but knowing how to use that chemical is much more important than what chemical you're using. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you can take away something from this. A few of them you might have already heard, but these have been my 5 things. Have been just like aha moments in my detailing career that's helped me develop into who I am and into 2 shops that we got right now. Always learning. Please subscribe below if you guys want some more tips, tricks, and techniques. I got lots more videos coming. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.